provides a way out of suffering, which is called the Eightfold Path. Although Thoreau undoubtedly did not explicitly contemplate the Four Noble Truths, his writings indicate that he understood them all the same. Thoreau voiced strong opinions on the value of personal experience versus passive acceptance. His opinions closely parallel the teachings contained in the Kalama Sutra. The Buddha traveled through the village of Kesaputta and was asked by the Kalama people who they should follow. Many monks and ascetics had preached to them, telling them to lean one way or another, and they needed advice concerning who was right. The Buddha said,
"Kalamas, when you yourselves know, these things are good, these things are not blamable, these things are praised by the wise, undertaken and observed. These things lead to benefit and happiness. Enter on and abide in them."
These words were revolutionary for their time and highlight an important aspect to Buddhism that often seems to be forgotten. One should judge for him or herself what is true, what is correct for the conscience, and what is good. Thoreau ardently expresses his desire to gain personal experience and share it with others, similar to the Buddha, to enter into a deeper understanding of life by withdrawing from life.
I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life, and see if I could not learn what it had to teach, and not, when I came to die, discover that I had not lived. I wanted to live deep and suck out all the marrow of life, to know it by experience, and be able to give a true account of it in my next excursion.
Fearing for future generations, Thoreau's contemplations turned critical.
I mean that students should not play life, or study it merely, while the community supports them at this expensive game, but earnestly live it from the beginning to end. How could youths better learn to live than by at once trying the experiment of living?
He criticizes the university setting, claiming that education would be far more beneficial if it was experiential. All theory and no experience, he maintains, keeps those who are supposed to be learning in the dark. Thoreau offers yet another perspective on knowledge.
It is never too late to give up on our prejudices. No way of thinking or doing, however ancient, can be trusted without proof. What everybody echoes or in silence passes by as true today may turn out to be falsehood tomorrow, mere smoke of opinion which some had trusted for a cloud that would sprinkle fertilizing rain on their fields.
This statement echoes the essence of the words the Buddha spoke on his deathbed. Always question what one is told. This is a very transcendental and Buddhist way of thinking. Although an idea may have been generally accepted over the span of many years, whether or not this idea contains truth is decided by personal experience. Thoreau seems to be an enlightened person, if not in the Buddhist sense of the word, at least as a human being. His experience at Walden Pond opened his eyes to a new understanding of life and his relationship to his surroundings. His journey does not end with the realization of shunyata, nor did he necessarily leave Walden with the compassion of a bodhisattva. However, he did obtain a great insight into society after being apart from it, and also a deeper connection with nature and reality. He said,
"I perceive that we live this mean life that we do because our vision does not penetrate the surface of things."
Furthermore, toward the end of his book, he stated firmly,
"I do not wish to take a cabin passage, but rather to go before the masts and on the deck of the world, for there I could best see the moonlight amid the mountains. I do not wish to go below now."
The Walden experiment, it seems, was not the end of the journey, but the beginning, a step on the path to true enlightenment. Can Thoreau be considered a modern Buddhist? He certainly was not intimately aware of Buddhist teachings. He was far more enraptured by Hinduism and the writings and philosophies thereof. However, Thoreau's Walden experiment reflected what Buddhist monks achieve at the monastery: isolation from society, quiet meditation, and a deepening of intellect and spirituality. His transcendental recollection of experiences, Walden, contains many Eastern influences, and his musings on society, reality, and personal experience contain Buddhist undertones. He shared his wisdom with whomever would hear it by publishing his book, as the Buddha himself shared the path of enlightenment to all those who would listen. Henry David Thoreau was one of the great American authors, but also a great source of wisdom and inspiration to those who aspire to seek enlightenment in their everyday lives. Thoreau's lessons on material luxuries, simplicity, and personal experience are as relevant today as ever, and the way in which his ideas tie together so well with Buddhist thought make Thoreau's Walden a true work of modern Buddhist literature.